All right. So I want to move on and talk a little bit about some of the downstream effects from SB1. Now, we recall that was the major property tax bill passed by the state assembly this spring. So I've got a fun story here, again, from the Indiana Capital Chronicle. And all of you, just take a second and go subscribe to them if you're not already. The most indispensable news site in the state, hands down. Props to Nikki Kelly and her team of journalists over there. So, but this from them, credit rating agencies are flagging the property tax bill for creating uncertainty for local bonds. Now, this is S&P Global Ratings. They provide independent credit ratings and research. They warned that the new law enacted earlier this year creates uncertainty for local income tax backed debt, according to a recent story in the very exciting sounding industry publication, The Bond Buyer. Now, at this point, according to S&P Associate Director John Sauter, he said, at this point, we believe it's too soon to assess how these changes will influence our ratings, but a report co-authored by Sauter flags concerns with the new provisions of the wide-ranging bill, which limited local tax growth and has left some municipalities scrambling to continue providing government service. Now, I will ask, Blythe, because I think it's been a minute since I came to you. It seems what we've done with the federal government, slashing spending and programs and social services and Medicaid and things to the states. They put the onus on the states to take care of these things. Well, our state is further cutting and kicking putting the onus down on like county and municipal governments, but they also are limiting the county and municipal government's ability to do things like issue bonds or raise taxes to provide these services themselves. Well, is there any way to make that up? I mean, are people just screwed?
We are screwed. And I want to say this, and I hope that every Hoosier in some capacity will hear this over the next year. The only way out of this mess is to vote them all out from the local level up. The local level in most counties in Indiana are run by Republicans and have been for decades, Johnson County included. They supported Mike Braun. They voted him in. They are in this together, regardless of how ignorant they were before SB1 came down the pipe. We have to get rid of them and hold them accountable. And the way we do that is to fucking vote them out. The lower people are on the ballot, the closer it is to home. We are being screwed left and right by Republicans. I don't think there's a way to get around. I mean, it is going to hurt more before it gets better. It will not get better with Republicans in control. Now, I'm not saying Democrats are free from blame of complacency or helping to get us here, but progressive, Bernie style Democrats are the only way out of this in a system that we are stuck with only two viable options for parties. We have to vote them out. We will. I do not foresee, I could be wrong. I would love for the Republicans to prove me wrong. I would love them to give me the third finger emoji and be like, hey, Blythe, watch this. We're going to fucking fix this and do the right thing for once. That'd be amazing. I don't see it happening. They might bandage things to make it look a little better before next year. But most of these people on the local level are up for re-election next year. Get rid of them. Vote in people who are going to hold Governor Braun and all of his little Republican minions accountable and get rid of them.
Yeah, and you made a nice point about the deception, because like so many of these cuts, I mean, we're talking about some of the cuts and we're seeing at the local level here, but a lot of this stuff at the federal level isn't going to kick in until after the midterms. So the
On
worst
purpose.
of it, yes, the worst.
They
Yeah,
will
you're not going
blame
to see the
us.
worst of it until after the election.
Yep.
So I want to, Charles, I want to give this one to you and sort of point out the details. The point out an example of the actual effects of of these cuts and what they mean for cities and towns. So just in Indianapolis, and I got a story here from Mirror Indy. So Indianapolis schools, libraries, and local governments are set to lose about $16 million in property tax revenue as the county's top health agency maneuvers to make up for steep state budget cuts. So what's happening here is for more than a decade, state lawmakers gave the municipal corporation $38 million a year to help cover the cost of providing medical care to low and income uninsured patients at Eskenazi Health. That's Indy's public hospital system. And in exchange, the amount of property taxes HHC could collect from Marion County residents was reduced by $35 million each year. But now that deal is over. The state support for Eskenazi Health was eliminated in the 2026 budget passed by the Republican supermajority. So now, listen, we still have to take care of these things. We still have to, have hospitals and provide public health. But without the money, the city has to rob Peter to pay Paul, and Peter in this case is schools, libraries, and local government entities, the townships inside of Indy there. Charles, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it pretty much right on the nose. I mean, unfortunately, the real effects of this at a local level is that, local public services are going, I mean, every city, county, town, municipality in Indiana is going to take a hit. Some are going to take bigger hits than others, but when you look at what that translates to, that's impact on local fire departments, township fire departments. We've seen that here in Hancock County. For the first time, they had to come to our county commissioners and say, "Hey, we're going to need extra funding because of these losses." That's the first time ever that they've had to do that. It can impact law enforcement. It can impact local municipal utilities in a certain fashion because municipal utilities are going to have to supplement more to the civil city, and that creates other conundrums and problems with all the other things that they have to face, which that's a whole other story in itself. But when it comes right down to it, basically they're just shifting the burden. They're playing a shell game, and unfortunately, yeah, it's great. You're going to save what, $300 on property taxes, but you're going to end up getting so much more taken away in local services and especially public libraries and those things. And healthcare is already, again, why we keep hitting healthcare as as they keep taking away funding from it is I don't know. It confuses me to no end because it makes zero sense. If anything, we should be taking that funding and investing more in our
Yeah.
healthcare services and our public education system. I mean, again, and I know this goes off on tangent with the voucher thing, but it's all the same thing. They're just anything they can do to make it harder on folks that are already struggling. That's what's going to happen, and it makes zero sense because they don't look at these things as human rights. They don't look at these things as necessary for everybody to exist.
And the investment in things like this upfront winds up saving money in the long run. We just keep kicking the can down the road, and every time we kick the can, some capitalist takes a cut, it seems like. And so